right, 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Ready to upgrade your combine with new technology to make your harvest more efficient, meaning more money in your pocket? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help find the right combine for harvest. Plus, when you purchase a pre-owned combine from Landmark, you are backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network, along with mobile techs and parts drop-off points to keep you up and running, reducing downtime. View inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM First, 93.7 The Ticket.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You've driven by GE Landscape Supply countless times, likely without even knowing, at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Now it's time to stop in. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. They sell in bulk to save you money, and you can buy anything from a 5-gallon bucket to a semi-load. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapeSupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies, some afternoon smoke and haze possible because of some heavy wildfires. Otherwise, high should be around 89. Tonight, we'll see partly cloudy skies and that haze weather again. We'll around 60. Tomorrow, most sunny and hazy again. We'll see an afternoon high around 87. The meteorologist, Kyle, 9.7 The Ticket, ticketfm.com.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Walk On Weekly with your hosts, Nebraska men's basketball players Sam Hoiberg and Jeff Grace III. This is Walk On Weekly, sponsored by the Scarlet Hotel.
All right, welcome into Ticket Weeknights and welcome back to the Walk On Weekly. It's been a few weeks since we've had the full crew in here. Obviously, you guys went in Spain, lots of traveling going on. So again, it's good to get these guys back in studio. And if you want to join the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. So again, plenty of ways to engage in the show. But nonetheless, we got Jeff Grace III, Sam Hoiberg in here. How's it going, guys? It's been a minute.
Oh, good.
Not too bad.
Just started practicing.
Yeah.
A little bit sore, but good vibes.
Definitely sore. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So where do you want to start? I think the last time we talked to you guys was before you took off for Spain. So maybe we'll quick spend some time on Spain and kind of figure out what that whole experience is like. Because I got to hear from Ramel Lloyd Jr. a little bit on Sundays, what it was kind of like. But I'm curious your guys' experience.
I really enjoyed it, honestly. Spain was like one of my first times, my actually second, third time being out of the country, but I've never been to like the Europe side. So it was pretty cool, like the architecture, how detailed it was, and like the place we went to go see for touring was very cool. Like the soccer stadium, I think it was FC Barcelona.
Oh, you guys got to check out Barcelona?
No, it was Real Madrid.
Yeah, Real
nice.
Madrid.
Yeah, they're doing a ton of construction on it.
It's humongous, like, and like to like imagine how many fans would like actually be in there, like the capacity of everything, and like how just like it is on a normal basis is just crazy. And like they were like kind of like setting up for like next season, I guess.
Yep.
So it was like pretty cool to see like all the workers and like what they do behind the scenes.
Can you feel like the buzz of soccer when you went over there? Like, is that a real? Because I know around here you can kind of feel the buzz of college football coming around, NFL. Is there like a soccer buzz?
You could definitely feel like there was a lot of people who actually were on the tour with us. So like they were like walking through everything we're walking through, and you can tell they were like huge fans because they had like the jerseys and everything. And like they would like spend a lot more time than we did, like just kind of like walking through everything. They'd actually like stop and watch the detail and like watch the videos and everything that they were showing. So I would say like, yeah, it's a big soccer.
Yeah, I'm always curious because I don't know if you guys have been watching, but we have Messi over here right now, and there's like 6 games he's like responsible for pretty much all the goals. And like 18 goals, something insane.
He's insane.
So I always kind of wonder because I see that talent difference between US and Europe. But nonetheless, did you guys get quite a bit of time to tour and look around Italy, or was it pretty much get to work?
No, it was a lot. Honestly, it was more vacation because we were there for like 9-10 days and we played 3 games. There wasn't any practicing. It was basically just kind of take it in and a lot of team bonding. I think it was a really good trip for our team chemistry. A lot of guys kind of came out of their shells and we all got a lot closer. So I think that was one of the best parts about the trip. And then, yeah, we got a tour. We got to have free time. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, just a really fun trip that we'll definitely remember for the rest of our lives, and really thankful we get to do that stuff.
What about the food? I'm sure you guys had some great food down there.
Me and Sam actually had the seafood paella and a chicken paella. I thought the chicken one was a lot better than the seafood one.
Do you like seafood, or are you seafood guy?
I like seafood.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had paella the first day. That's like their national dish.
Yeah, Ramel Lloyd Jr. was on. He was talking about that. He loved it apparently.
Yeah,
it's really good.
The first one we had was so good that it kind of ruined the rest of them for both of us.
Because like at different places, like it tastes different and like people make it different. So
right, you got your different flavors.
Yeah.
My favorite thing, food thing on the trip was the jamon, which is like their thinly sliced ham. And it's like really expensive to get in the States because it's like grown there, but it's super cheap there. And I was eating that every single day. And
ham is on everything.
I took advantage of that ham over there, but that stuff was unbelievable.
I did not know that. So they got some premium ham. If you're over to Italy, you got to stop and get that ham.
No doubt about it.
Spain.
Or Spain. Excuse me. I said Italy. Nonetheless, yeah, there's my geography for you. But we talked about that. You guys talked about that first. You only played 3 games, but what was kind of getting to that first game like? I know you can condition and you can work out all summer long, but you hop on that first basketball court, first basketball game. At least for me, I get cotton mouth. No matter how good a shape I'm in, if I'm not playing basketball, it's a different kind of conditioning. So what was kind of that like getting into that first game, just getting comfortable?
I would say in like the beginning, it was definitely hard because like we hadn't played basketball in like 3 days. And also like we only had 8 guys that were playing.
Did you experience any jet lag too for those first ones, or were you pretty much, adjusted well enough at that point?
I think a couple people were experiencing some jet lag. Like my sleep schedule is still kind of messed up to this day. But I mean, the first couple minutes were pretty rough, I would say. Like you were really gassed, like just going up and down the court. But like once you got a feel for it and like understood, like kind of like the FIBA rules, I would say, and like how they play over there, I would say you got adjusted pretty well. Everything became kind of natural. You just had to kind of go with the flow.
Yeah, and I want to ask you about those FIBA rules later, but what was your kind of initial experiences playing over with some of those European guys?
I didn't play.
Okay.
I've been dealing with some knee issues all summer.
Okay.
So I didn't play in Spain, but I definitely could see.
Yeah, let's see. What does it look like from the bench when you were watching that? Because Ramel Lloyd Jr. said, I'm gonna paraphrase him there a little bit here, but he said they were basically you weren't gonna get any calls thrown your way.
Not at all.
Yeah, the calls were they were bad, and the guys were definitely really gassed. Like, you could tell it was making a big difference. I think if we were in good shape, those games would have been blown out a little bit more. But yeah, I think once the guy, from my point of view, like that first game, we weren't really adjusting to that kind of physicality. Is like they're not calling charges. Like you just got to kind of wall up and like you can play hard. Like you can foul on defense and it's gonna like you're gonna turn it over on offense, but you can force them to turn it over. But we weren't really doing that. Like we're a big no foul team, so we weren't playing like that. And then the second game, the team was really physical, but we kind of matched their physicality, and some guys were like being real physical, like forcing turnovers that way, and we made some big plays with that physicality at the end that ended up winning that second game. And then the third game, the team wasn't great, but we just kind of, I think we had adjusted and just blew them out.
Yeah, when you're trying to go through that stuff, the way I was kind of hearing it is you guys were still used to playing that Division I college basketball, and over there it was just you guys were playing two different games. That's kind of what it sounded like. So game 2, you kind of got that figured out. But in terms of talent, do you notice anything, whether watching it from the side or playing in the game, just schematic wise, that was a little different than what you guys do? Or is it purely just kind of the physicality that separates two styles?
There's definitely a difference in I feel like just knowledge of the game. Because when I came into college, I mean, I feel like I had a good basketball IQ, but I didn't know schemes that well. Like it was kind of just go out there and play. Like you weren't having many schemes in high school games anyways. And like these teams were just kind of thrown together. They hadn't played together. I don't even know if they had practiced together, and they were out there running sets really well, like taking advantage of our defense. They just all knew those sets. Like, for example, like they're spurring, like doing a spur pass on pick and rolls a lot, because that's kind of how teams will try to take advantage of our defense. And since we're not at that point, like we'd only had 2 months with those new guys to work on that defense. So we weren't super sharp with that anyway. So they were taking advantage of us with those schemes, and they were all just really smart. It seemed like they all knew. They all had really high basketball IQs. So I think that IQ difference, they must teach it at a lot younger age than they do over here. That's kind of what I picked up from watching.
So were those teams that you guys were playing, were those how were those teams put together? Are those like just regional teams that you guys were going up against?
It was just pros from around the area. I think.
Pros from around the area.
Like one guy played the first game, then he drove or he was on a train to Valencia the next 2 days later and played for that team. Like,
okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, because
really
I was looking at who you guys were playing against. I was having a real hard time trying to piece out the players other than their pros.
Every team that Drake played the Valencia All-Stars the night before us, and then it was almost like a completely new roster the next day. Like it wasn't like we could scout them that well, and they're putting random teams, like they could have been way better against us than they were versus Drake, for example, or like Iowa played them, the Valencia All-Stars, a week later. It could have been a completely different team. So those scores really just, they don't signify much over there, because
different roster,
everyone's playing different teams over there.
Well, what about you? Did you notice anything? He kind of mentioned in the pro style, which makes sense. You'd imagine that those guys at that level, a little more geared to taking advantage of mismatches. But do you notice anything when you were playing schematic wise?
Definitely the IQ. Like some of the finishes they have are crazy. Like just
what do you mean
how,
finishes?
Just how they spin the ball and it would go in.
Oh, okay.
And then also the passing, where how the defense we play, I don't know, their passes were some of them were just on point, where you just had to give a highly contest, and sometimes they'd make the shot. So
really good shooters.
Yeah. So it'd be it was something eye-opening for sure, because you always hear about it, but then when you actually do it, it's very eye-opening, because you're not really used to it. But then once you get used to it, I would say I think we did a pretty good job changing how going through the plays before, so everyone would know what was happening. But sometimes they'd change it up and draw something up differently and adjust to what we were doing. So I would say definitely the IQ, like Sam said.
Yeah, and I'm always curious, because again, we talk about this all the time, but trying to figure out the difference between European ball and U.S. ball. I definitely feel like them leaning into that pro style a little earlier could be advantageous for them. But we'll see. We still got quite a few players in the NBA. We talk about time, Zion, see how those guys turn out, but definitely a lot of European guys dominating as well. But we also talked about before we got going here, if you guys were watching the FIBA World Cup at all, and obviously, have you guys kept your eyes on Casey on his performance?
I've been waking up early to watch his games, and I'm telling you that when they played Finland, they got down 18. Casey got put in the game, and he just started hitting tough threes. The game got back down to 10. He hit 2 more tough ones in the fourth quarter, and he was getting deflections, like, being really active. And then this little 5'6", 5'7" at most guy on his team just gets on fire. His name is Yuki Kawamura, I believe.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I know what you're talking about, though.
But he had just hit these clutch shots. He was doing these scoop layups over Lauri Markkanen. It was crazy. And there were people crying in the crowd. It was really cool to watch. This first European team they've ever beat.
Oh, really? I didn't see that. That's the first European team they've ever beat.
I think, they said it ever. So
that's
it was a huge win for them. And then Casey and that Yuki kid they're both 22. So they're like the future of that team, and people are really excited about them. He didn't play great today, but he's playing NBA players, so that was a tough game for him.
That's what I was kind of surprised about. You mentioned it, but obviously he's a fan favorite here in Nebraska, and he's got a big following. It just kind of felt like, man, that is everyone was watching him when he stepped on the court. It kind of felt like, I don't want to say his team, so it's a little bit arrogant to say, but it definitely felt like when he was on the court, you could feel the entire crowd shift, like that energy. They feel really good when he's on the court. What about you? Have you been able to watch Casey at all?
I've been keeping up with it, I would say. Not as much as Sam, but I've been trying my best too. I would just say I've seen a couple of highlights here and there, and like Sam said, the 5'6" dude who made the game-winning shot, kind of to help them win the game versus over Lauri Markkanen. That was pretty impressive. So I've been trying to keep up with it, try my best. But I mean, it's kind of hard with the time zone difference.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'll be honest, for a lot of these World Cup games, these are ones where it's a big YouTube piece for me. I don't have the dedication to get up as early as Sam does, and as much as I love watching Casey dominate, that's an early wake up call. We got a little bit of time here left. We're talking about the World Cup. Are you guys surprised at all? With the U.S. and their performance, they did take a loss on the 26th to Brazil, 83-76. But other than that, performance-wise, I guess I'm a little surprised for how well they've been playing. I guess one biggest question I want to ask you guys is, have you been following the U.S. and their roster? And then are you surprised at all on any of their losses? Well, I should say any of their losses, just the one at the very end there to Brazil.
Yeah, I think that when I saw the roster, I really liked it from the beginning. It obviously isn't the biggest names we could have got, but I felt like it was a bunch of guys that weren't really selfish, and they kind of fit together. I feel like they did a really good job piecing guys that could play well together, and I'm not very surprised by their success. I mean, they're all NBA players at a high level, and Austin Reeves has surprised me a little bit. I always really liked him, but I didn't know he'd be this good on Team USA with all these other stars. But I didn't know that they lost to Brazil, so that does surprise me.
Yeah, that was the last one right there. So that was on 26, which surprised me as well. But again, Reeves is a guy that's surprising me. What do you think his ceiling is? Because when he first played for the Lakers, he really started popping off, and I want to say he got a little bit of the Alex Caruso treatment. He was kind of everyone's favorite role player. What do you think his ceiling is? Next season with the Lakers, are you expecting to see even more contributions for him? Are you kind of expecting that same level of progression, considering he's still sitting with LeBron James and Anthony Davis?
I would say even more, because those guys are kind of getting older now. So they kind of have to pass on the young star.
How much more though? Can you see him realistically averaging, upwards to, I'll put him at 18 points a game. Is that a realistic number for him next season?
I'd say he has hopes for it, for sure. Just the way, I guess he prepares, with everything, and how young he is and wants to just compete and get better. You've always seen slight glimpses of it in college, so I would say 18. It sounds about right.
Okay, I'm not as high. I like Austin Reeves, but offensively, I don't know if I'm there yet. If he keeps getting to the free throw line, I might have to roll that back. His free throw line is ridiculous.
Well, you got to also think about the team around him with the players. So it's either going to LeBron, AD, him.
That's what he does have a chance to be that real kind of three. Because when D'Angelo Russell goes in those cold streaks, I think he's going to be the three. But there's definitely stretches where it just seems like it shifts to Austin Reeves, especially in the playoffs. Saw that a lot where it felt weird. They kept going away from Reeves when he was the guy producing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam? What do you think about his production for next season?
I think he's going to be the number 3 guy.
Really?
I'm
Over
also
Russell?
not a D'Angelo Russell fan.
Okay. I'm kind of there with you. His consistency has always thrown me off.
Yeah.
Just bad shots. Good player, bad shots.
But I think he's really skilled, and I think people underrate his passing ability too. He's just I think he's just a really, really solid player. And then with how he's playing now, he's going to have a huge confidence leap. I feel like you see that with guys that play really well in the summertime with these foreign trips or whatever, the like World Cup type games. Some guys will come out with a lot of confidence after that, and I think that's going to happen with him. I could definitely see him getting 18 a game this year. That's the number I had in my head when you were asking that question.
Yeah.
I think 18 is a good number for him to get to, and I could definitely see him averaging around that.
Does that make an impact though for those guys, for the Lakers in the Western Conference? Is that like if Austin Reeves is truly becoming that guy and he's scoring 18 points, what does that mean for the Lakers? They still need to make moves, or is that realistic to possibly challenge the Nuggets, Suns, if you're thinking those guys are Warriors?
I mean, it helps them a lot more because, as you can see, like nowadays, like people have like 3 people that are like stars pretty much. So like it helps them, and so like they don't have to do much of the work, and it allows them kind of like to lay back and like use it when they need it, pretty much. So going against those teams, I think it will help a lot. But I think they're still gonna have some troubles with the team around them, but I think how they're going to do it is go into the season how they did last year, kind of scope it out, see how it goes, and then go from there if they need to make changes. If not, then keep it how it is.
Did they sell Rui Hachimura?
They do.
They do?
Yeah,
okay,
they do.
yeah. That's a good pickup. Yeah, I don't think those guys are going to make any big waves unless they get another big trade in there. I really think we're looking dead in the eye at a Nuggets dynasty if they stay healthy.
I agree.
Like
I don't
see
the Lakers challenging them with this roster. And honestly, if Reeves can get more than 18 a game, like up to 20, if he can play at almost all-star level, which is obviously, I'm not saying that's going to happen. That I think is what's going to be needing to happen if they get to that level.
Okay.
And I just am curious to see how LeBron will be this year. I don't see him slowing down a ton, but I feel like he's going to keep changing his game into more of a passer, and he's going to accept that more third, fourth scoring role because he did that a bit in the playoffs this year. Like,
Yeah.
didn't take a shot in the first quarter in a couple of the games. Like, he's starting to kind of accept that, and I feel like he always changes his game for the better. You think back to Miami when he said he's going to stop shooting threes after they lost to the Mavs, and then they won 2 straight championships. So I think he's just such a smart player. He's going to figure something out to still be extremely effective. But that Nuggets team is so good.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was asking because, when you're talking about the Lakers, the reason I want to dive into this is mainly just if there's any teams that you guys are thinking that could possibly sneak up on the Nuggets. We'll save that one for the next segment. But yeah, because Austin Reeves, if you're going to be realistic, whether it's him or someone else on the roster, they'd have to be all-star level. I just think that's how good the Nuggets are right now, especially if no one gets injured. But again, if you guys want to join the show, start our Heyman text line 402-464-5685, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. And keep in mind, we do have the Royals switching over at 6:30. So again, if you want to stay plugged into the show, watch us on the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 951. But I'll ask you guys before we go to break here, who in the Western Conference of the NBA is kind of getting slept on and might have a chance to possibly upset some of the favorites like the Nuggets, Suns, or Warriors. With that being said, we'll go ahead and throw it to break. This is Walk On Weekly. We got Jeff Grace III, Sam Hoiberg across the table. I'm Harrison. We'll catch you guys on the other side.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate and holiday barbecue needs. Enjoy all natural whole pork butt for just $1.69 per pound. USDA choice whole brisket for $3.99 per pound, and 30 packs of Busch Light for only $15.88 when you buy $4.01 in fresh meat. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockland Square Shopping Center just south of 84th and Van Dorn in Lincoln.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Blecker and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Blecker and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Victor deployed for the first time to Afghanistan in 2003. At 4 a.m, my phone rang. They said, "I regret to inform you that your husband was wounded in action." Victor sustained a moderate traumatic brain injury. I was doing school full time, and I was also then caring for Victor. One of the most important elements of caregiving is taking care of yourself. I just didn't want to forget that I also had goals and that I also had a life. What I did is I challenged Victor to meet me halfway. There are almost 6 million military and veteran caregivers across the nation. We have our own journey, and we can fulfill that journey at the same time that we are helping our loved one.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for a free military veterans guide to navigate your caregiving journey and better care for your loved one and yourself. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Herrick Services takes this time to wish everyone a happy Labor Day. They are thankful for everyone in the workforce who makes this country great and celebrate a deserved day off to rest and reflect. This important message comes to you from Bart and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending specialists here in Lincoln. Their quality service and expertise has earned them a fine reputation. That's Herrick Services, on the air because they care.
Back to Walk On Weekly. Here are your hosts, Sam Hoiberg and Jeff Grace III on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Walk On Weekly here on Ticket Weeknights. Again, I am Harrison Arns running the board. We got the host, as always, Jeff Grace III and Sam Hoiberg in studio here with us as school is back in session. These guys pretty much have to be here at this point. So, but nonetheless, before the break, we talked about it a little bit. What could it possibly take for the Lakers to make a serious push in the playoffs? Because I will say this, and I'll die on this hill. I still believe that the Lakers were actually the second best team in the Western Conference last year. I know they lost 4-1 against the Nuggets, but I still think out of all the teams, that was the second best team. So that's why I brought that up. What is Austin Reeves going to have to do? But outside of that, are there any other teams in the Western Conference that have a legitimate shot about whether you see them making a big trade, where they have the assets in place to get a guy, where they can make a serious run and chase the Nuggets as right now the current favorite?
I've won. If the Mavericks get it together with Kyrie and Luka,
that was mine.
I could see it potentially happening, but they have to be on the same page, and there can't be a lot of drama with everything going on with Kyrie and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also think they probably have to make towards a big trade that could potentially bring in a three, somebody else other than them two, because the roster around them isn't very good, I would say, for beating the Nuggets. So I feel like if they want to be a contender, they'd have to put the pieces right in the right place.
Mm-hmm. The only thing I will say, when they were together on the court, it's a short sample size, but they were 5-11. So that's kind of the scare right there, is when they were on the court together, it did not work. Again, I think it's a small sample size. You got to try that out some longer, but it's not a good indication. I'm kind of down
Summer
on
is
Kyrie
winding
Irving.
down.
And there's the Kansas City Royals. So again, Kansas City Royals on the airwaves. We are streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 951. But I've talked about this before. I'm just not the biggest Kyrie Irving fan at this point. Not for anything off the court, but just on the court production. I think we kind of get disillusioned by thinking he's still the same Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving, even as good as the Boston Celtics. I just don't think he's that guy anymore. He still has all the ball handling skills. But in terms of his defense, that's just getting worse, and it was never good to begin with. In terms of his shooting, that's ebb and flow. I don't know if that's just him not spending as much time in the gym, but I'm just not super high on Kyrie Irving. But there is a chance. Like, he's still one of the greatest point guards we've seen in a long time. And I'm not saying that's gone forever. We could see a resurgence, but what are you thinking? Are the Mavericks, Kyrie Irving and Luka, do they have a chance to actually figure this thing out?
I struggle with them just because they're both so. I mean, we've seen Kyrie play off ball, so I can't say it's because they're both going to want the ball too much. I know that Kyrie can play second fiddle, and I think that's how it's gonna have to be because Luka is just so unbelievably good. But they're just like the defense. I don't see them winning that many games together just because you can't hide two guys on defense, and they're both not very good defenders. So
okay, let's stay on that. Phoenix Suns.
That was the one team I was kind of thinking about.
Okay.
It was in my head. I'm not huge on them. I don't really know. It's their only one basketball. That's the one team that I'll really say that.
Yeah, usage rate goes to 100. That's the highest.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see, but they absolutely have the ceiling if they can make that work. I think Devin Booker and KD were playing off each other really well, and I believe Bradley Beal is just wanting to win now. So I feel like he'll maybe take a Chris Bosh on the Heat role. I think I could see him doing something like that. And I don't know. Ayton's got to be better, though.
That's my biggest concern. What does he look like without Chris Paul? I think people forget how good Chris Paul was for DeAndre Ayton. His numbers essentially doubled when he got Chris Paul. Yes, exactly. That's why I'm not super high with Kyrie Irving and Luka as a defense. Like, I don't care. The biggest argument for the Suns is, who's going to guard the third guy, and you can argue the same thing back to them. It's like, who the hell are you going to guard on the other side of the court? So again, I think it's going to be for those guys. It's just a complete zag. They're just going all offense. And I really feel like that's the entire mindset. I think they understand the defense is going to be a downside, but they're just anticipating to outscore everyone. Someone's going to have to sacrifice. I think it's going to have to be Bradley Beal. But again, you're going to need some better playmakers. Someone's going to have to figure out a way to actually get production out of DeAndre Ayton. I don't see a lot of pick and rolls. I can't really think of too many successful pick and rolls that wasn't with Chris Paul and DeAndre Ayton. You didn't see a whole lot of those actions with Kevin Durant or Devin Booker. Devin Booker a little bit, obviously, but they deferred to Chris Paul because just higher production out of it. Do you see that working out? Jeff Grace III with the Phoenix Suns. Is that enough offense to just kind of overwrite the defense? Or are you expecting someone, maybe a Bradley Beal to sacrifice on the offensive end and put more energy defensively? Because, someone's going to have to sacrifice regardless.
I think, like Sam said, he's definitely going to have to take that role because at the end of the day, like, defense does win championships. So I feel like they're going to have to, figure that out because, Kevin Durant, Devin Booker are going to score, obviously. Bradley Beal is going to get some of his points. But then, I feel like they have to get Aiden to a point to where his potential can possibly be because he definitely can be better than what he is, but he's not showing it right now. And it's very sad because, if you're that tall and, you're that skilled as a big man in today's game, you have everything you pretty much need, but, you're not producing well. So I feel like if they get everyone on the same page, because they brought some solid pieces in with Eric Gordon, Utah, Bull, pretty solid, off the bench. So they have a good amount of pieces around them. I think they just have to get everyone on the same page to get to where they need to go. And someone's definitely gonna have to sacrifice, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and then, like I said, I think it's gonna be Bradley Beal. It's just gonna happen. You're not gonna ask Kevin Durant or Devin Booker to D up.
Not a chance.
It's just not gonna happen with those guys. Kevin Durant's just tall enough, anyways, that he's probably gonna be your best defender just because of his height out of those three offensive superstars. But it's definitely gonna have to be Bradley Beal.
I actually have one more. I think
I do too.
Okay, both in the West.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
I think the Clippers. If Kawhi and Paul George stay healthy, think about it. How they were playing against the Suns.
Yeah.
They would have had that series.
Yeah, I shouldn't have wrote them off. Clippers is a good one.
I think the Clippers.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is the guy.
If everyone stays healthy and they have all the pretty much the piece they need, I think the Clippers could do it.
And everyone forgot about Kawhi last year. That's typically
and he went off versus the Suns.
Yeah,
so.
he did. That's a good one. Clippers. Put them, and they still got Zubac, I believe, as well.
Mhm.
And I actually like Zubac. He had when he was on a short little stint there with the Lakers. I still think they gave away for hardly anything. That was one of the bad trades. They gave him right to their neighbors for hardly nothing. And Zubac, he's not like an all-star center, but he's on a cheap dollar, and he's kind of those sweet spot centers. To me, he's like a JaVale McGee. Like, we can pay you on a very reasonable salary that's not DeAndre Ayton's. That's way too high, and we're not getting that superstar production. But it's just that sweet spot. You don't necessarily need to pay your center a ton of money. And Zubac's that kind of perfect center. So we got Clippers. What were you going to say, Sam?
This is kind of a long shot, but I really like what they have going for them. The Kings.
Yeah, De'Aaron Fox is becoming a special player right in front. Last season was incredible.
Sabonis, get a little jumper. That kind of killed them in the playoffs. I was paying a lot of attention to that series against the Warriors. And if he gets that jumper down, I mean, he's so good at making those passes to those guys. And then Keegan Murray is like set to have a breakout year too. I mean, the one summer league game, would he have like 43 or something?
Yeah, he had a lot.
That seems like a good pick for like 2 years down the road.
But
there is a chance. Yeah,
it won't happen this year, I don't think. But they also have some pieces that they could deal to that maybe they bring in a guy that can change something for them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who that would be right now. I haven't given that a lot of thought. It kind of just popped in my mind right now, but I do really like how they play with that super fast pace. I think they're fun to watch and definitely a team to look out for.
Okay, before we move on to the East, and then I want to dive into what you guys are thinking for Minnesota, as that's already Thursday, which is insane to believe. But are we writing off the New Orleans Pelicans?
That was another one that crossed my mind.
Is Zion going to stay healthy?
Zion looks healthy right now.
I think this is the worst problem of the NBA. Have you noticed every single team we said healthy? Are they going to stay healthy? The load management era, it's definitely brutal. But yeah, I absolutely hope Zion stays healthy. Brandon Ingram, I don't know what his ceiling is. I cannot figure out how good Brandon Ingram's going to be. He to me is starting to give me a DeMar DeRozan vibes. Like, he might be 32 years old in peak.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because his style is exactly the same. He feeds on that mid-range, and he's just total feel and touch rhythm guy. He's high scorer, volume shooter. You're not as athletic. DeMar DeRozan was, dunk contest champion. You can't, he was a multiple at that too, I believe. He won one. I think he was in a few of them. But he's not as athletic. But that's kind of the trajectory I see Brandon Ingram on. So Zion just needs to take off right now for those guys to start winning games. Like, it's all on him, in my honest opinion, because that team has just been hindered on wanting to focus their entire offense around a freaky efficient scorer, and he's just never on the court.
And he's really good when he's on the court, though. That's the one thing.
Freaky efficient. He was like right there with Shaq's efficiency numbers.
I mean, people calling him a bust. That's a flat out lie. He just has not been on the court enough. He hasn't been reliable, but he's played at an all-star level when he's playing.
Yeah, that's why I just want to see him healthy. It's one guy that drives me nuts. The Zion, when he plays, still has a chance to be the greatest player in this draft class. And I think he's going to be better than Ja Morant if he just stays healthy. Because when he is playing, you literally can't stop that guy. The amount of production he gets in the amount of efficiency. And again, he just gets so many guys in foul trouble too. Just the way he's able to get that second jump so quick and get that offensive rebound if he misses. Those are guys where I'm just hoping that's another team where it feels like 2 years away. Just because Zion, even if he's fully healthy, I want to see a year of it. Watch him get through the playoffs before, we actually kind of get battle tested there. But I think that's all I got for the West. The sleepers probably be Clippers. I'm not willing to throw. I'll put Suns in 2-year window. Same thing with the Pelicans, 2-year window. Warriors, I just don't think they're going to have enough this year. I just think bringing Draymond Green, you got rid of Jordan Poole. Maybe that helps team chemistry, but other than that, not a lot of changes going on there. I think we're looking at Nuggets, Clippers, or Lakers again. I think that's really where we're sitting. I'm out on the Suns. So right now, pick 2 Western Conference Finals teams.
The Nuggets. I'm going with the Clippers.
Nuggets, Clippers. I'll be honest. I'm there with you. I think those are my 2
I can
favorites.
Just see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
I think repeat.
Yeah.
Repeat with Lakers.
Go. What were you gonna say though?
No, I mean, like, it's just like people really forget how good Kawhi is, and like how good like Paul George plays like off Kawhi. Like them two together, and they play defense. So like, and you have Russell Westbrook now, and he like signed like not for that much, but he's still there, and he works his butt off every single day. And like, I don't know, I just can see it. I don't know.
That's a good point. If you put the Clippers and you match them up against the Phoenix Suns, I mean, you got two of the best wing defenders arguably in the league right there. That you know, the Clippers are a damn good pick. I'm actually gonna, you know, I might look at the betting odds after the show and see if they're out for playoff predictions. But nonetheless, we do got to go ahead and throw it to our last break. And on the last segment, we'll have about 7 or 10 minutes or so. I kind of want to talk about some Husker football as we got these guys in here. And again, if you guys want to join the show, sorry to Heyman text line. We're not on the FM airwaves, but again, you can still join through that way. 402-464-5685, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. I'm Harrison. That's Sam. Jeff. We'll catch you guys on the other side.
Agriculture is the economic engine of the Midwest. At Acres Equipment, we dedicate ourselves to making that engine run smoothly. We supply our farmers and ranchers with quality John Deere equipment, parts, and service. We also deliver the most advanced technology and precision ag strategies to help them farm today and for the future. Acres Equipment, solutions for every field.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the attention of the Nebraska Lottery that when people hear a radio commercial in their car for one of our lotto games, Powerball, Mega Millions, or Lucky for Life, they tend to begin daydreaming about how they'll spend the prize money if they win, instead of paying attention to the road. So please, when I tell you that Nebraska Lottery lotto games offer big money and big fun, keep your mind on driving. Do not start thinking about all the things you could buy if you win. Things like hybrid sports cars, tropical vacations, 100-inch TVs, hot tubs, SUVs, a new computer, motorboats.
Bob, snap out of it.
Oh, good heavens. Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies. Perhaps I should go home now.
You better let me drive.
Lotto games from the Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock, A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. Spring is here. Summer is fast approaching. With weddings, vacations, and weekend getaways on your mind, do not let car issues prevent you from getting where you need to be. Car problems shouldn't be something that you put up with. Let us get you back on the road in comfort and safety. We diagnose all makes and models from Porsches to Hondas, Toyotas, and Chevrolets. We fix a variety of issues with all of them with our talented techs and our experienced staff. A1 Automotive at 11th and L, downtown Lincoln, always honest answers.
Steve's Garage Doors and Services is hiring. They are looking for a garage door installation and service technician with a clean driving record. Experience is not required as they will train for the positions. However, mechanical aptitude is required. If you want to come be a part of a small business where you're family, not just an employee, call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today to apply at 402-480-2840. That's 402-480-2840. Steve's Garage Doors and Services.
This Easter, focus on your family instead of dishes with the Venue Easter to-go meals. Prepared fresh in house by our chefs, these meals are ready to heat and eat with packages for 2 to 3 people or 6 to 8 and your choice of juicy beef tenderloin, tasty herb roasted chicken, or our famous 6-pepper crusted prime rib. All meal packages come with sides and we have additional add-ons available to complete your feast. Order today at venuedelivered.com/Easter. That's venuedelivered.com/Easter.
Spring sports are here and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. Again, I'm Harrison Arns running the board. We got the host of the Walk On Weekly, Jeff Grace III, and Sam Hoiberg, both in studio today. And again, if you guys want to join the show, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, as well as we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 951. Real quick, we didn't even get to the Eastern Conference, but out of the East, are you guys favoring anyone in particular? To me, the East seems like wildfire. I don't know where the hell James Harden's going to go. That's another thing. We didn't even dive into that. I don't even want to. I'm tired.
At this point?
I'm just so tired of talking about that guy. He's the headline stealer, to say the least. So James Harden, we don't know. But is there anyone in the East that you guys are really thinking they're just going to take off right when they left, or someone new going to show up?
I'm going to say another team that's probably 2 years away that could be really good is the Cavs.
Cavaliers, yeah. Like Evan Mobley. Garland's really good. They got a bunch of young
Just picked
players.
up George Niang.
Yeah.
My guy.
What do you like him so much?
Play for my dad, I would
Okay.
say. Yeah, I got a really good relationship with him.
Do you still keep in touch with him?
Yep.
Oh, that's sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So you ever talk about the NBA and when he's kind of?
I haven't got to really talk to him a bunch, but he'll send me messages on Instagram every once in a while, just responding to stuff, send me texts, but nothing deep.
That's cool. No? I was always kind of curious to have that cool connection that your dad, your whole family's kind of got that basketball connection. Anyone else in the East though? We got the 2-year project Cavs. I'm thinking it's probably going to be the Bucks running back up to the front. I think Giannis will be fully healthy.
Giannis gonna come back?
Well,
Sounds pretty doubtful.
I think he's probably done.
Sounds pretty doubtful.
Yeah, I think he's probably done. Maybe gives him, this year and splits, but that's kind of where I don't think he's a guy though, just because he's planning on leaving. He's not going to give it his all.
I mean, yeah.
So that's why I'm not worried about. I think the Bucks probably run back up there for one more season.
I was just curious about the comment he made when he was talking about it. He was like, if they're not all in, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I
was like, what?
I don't know what that meant. Because he doesn't seem to me like the kind of player that's like LeBron James, kind of, how do you want to say it, having his influence on potential trades.
Mhm.
I've never gotten that kind of image from him. So when he said that, I'm like, what do you mean they're not, going all in on it?
Yeah.
Because he's got the super max. The only thing I could think of is he's not getting the players he wants. Giannis doesn't seem like a guy that's requesting trades either for certain guys to get traded.
Oh, it's
I think firing Budenholzer was big.
That's a good point.
That was so unnecessary. I mean, Giannis was hurt that series, and the Heat went to the finals.
And the timing of it.
The timing
of it was horrible. There was no reason to do it at the time they did it, and they had all
do it before the Heat got to the finals.
I want to say,
I can't remember.
It was right after the brother. Was it?
It was right after his brother died.
And I think that was before
he was dealing with
the Heat were in the. So it was before the Heat were in the finals.
I mean,
that's it.
He won a championship recently.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great coach. I mean, my dad talks about how he loves how Budenholzer ran his offense.
Well, he sniffed out Giannis and said, you got to remember too, at one point, I mean, Giannis, he was somewhat of a promising player, but he put a ton of focus on Giannis. It really made him the core focus when he wasn't Giannis yet, when he didn't look like this massive guy that we see now, when he looked like this string bean out there. So he definitely gets I think that's bad fire. You see that a lot in times with the NBA, just coaches, just moving around all the time,
especially nowadays.
Yeah, I think the Bulls are probably quick to get a new coach here soon, and
which no one's been healthy. To give them a chance.
Yeah,
they were good when they were healthy.
When they had Lonzo Ball fully healthy Alex Carew, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, that was a good team in the East. They were making a nice run, and then
it's just unfortunate for coaches if your team isn't healthy and you guys don't do well. Your fan base is gonna pressure to fire the coach, and a lot of times those GMs succumb to that.
Well, even when James Harden was on the Houston Rockets, he shows up to the season out of shape. He's not trying. He barely wants to play. Head coach gets fired. Like, how is that?
Is that McHale?
I think that was McHale. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty positive. I'll double check here, but I'm pretty sure it was. Any other teams in the East before we talk about Husker football? That's pretty much it. I don't see a ton of teams in the East. That's a weaker conference for sure.
I was gonna say the Bulls, but like with Lonzo, I really can't see it.
Yeah, Bulls are. I'm just writing them off. They're in contract hell, to say the least. They're just not in a good spot right now. Hopefully Lonzo Ball comes back. He fired back at Stephen A. Smith, which was funny. But again,
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you hear James Harden talking about the GM?
Oh yeah, with Daryl Morey. Yeah, he called him a liar, and I will never play for Daryl Morey again. He is a liar. I'm just tired of James Harden. Stop signing 4-year deals, man. If you don't ever see yourself playing somewhere for 4 years, just stop signing him. That's obviously he can do it. He's the superstar talent. He knows people are going to keep risking that because he is that good. So who the hell am I to tell him what to do? But it's driving me insane to see that continuous pattern of behavior. But again, I'm going to leave it there. James Harden gets me so fired up every single time. 402-464-5685. We're going to switch it up to Husker football since it is Thursday, 7 o'clock already. We're kicking off at Minnesota. I'm super excited. Everyone's super excited. How do you guys see this game going? We can go ahead and give our record predictions since you guys are obviously going to be here before the game any other time.
I don't love to give a record prediction because I don't want to
Okay, we can just do this. Thoughts about the game on how you see it going.
I just want to say I love what Matt Rule is doing right now, and it seems like everything they're doing is right. And every player, I've become good friends with a lot of the football players this past off season, and I haven't heard of a single person talk down on the new staff. Everyone loves what they're doing, and I mean, I don't know if necessarily they're going to be a ton better this year. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I don't think there'd be any reason to panic. I think they're going to figure this thing out eventually for sure.
Yeah. It's year one.
Yeah, I mean, it's year one. It's the first game is going to be an away game. There's going to be those nerves, a lot of pressure. I don't think it's a great idea to buy in too much hype. I see fans saying that we're going to win 43-7, and I think they're serious.
I hope you understand.
Let's just get a win. Let's get a 22-21 win. If anything, just get the W.
Not to mention Minnesota is going to hold on to the ball forever. So to try to get that many points on a team like that.
I don't love building up expectations too high, especially when everything's going so right. I don't think there's going to be any reason to tear them down after the first game because it's game one. But yeah, I'm confident. Seems like everything's going well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really excited to watch.
Yeah, Minnesota, like you said, no reason to hit the panic. I know you guys won't give your predictions. That's fine. I gave mine on Sunday. I do think Minnesota wins, but at the same side, to see Nebraska winning as well. I would not be surprised.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, it's to me, I think the last 3 games have been decided by 7 points. It's total coin flip. You play a team like Illinois, Wisconsin, obviously Minnesota. They're going to run the ball a lot. You're going to have a chance. Biggest thing, just don't turn the ball over because if you turn that thing over, it might be another 7 minutes. The entire quarter goes by. Jeff, your thoughts on Minnesota Thursday, 7 o'clock on the road?
Just in general, for me, what I've noticed, going on the training table and seeing the football players, it's a different feel this year. I don't know, I guess just with everyone coming in new and the whole new staff and everything, different approach. It's just a whole different vibe. I don't know if you've noticed that, Sam, but I've noticed a whole different vibe, whole different approach to what they're doing, and they're actually buying into everything that's coming together. So, I mean, first game you can't really expect that much. So, I feel like it's gonna be a really good game, but for who wins, I just say Nebraska will win.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hope for a good game, honestly.
Yeah, and that's what gets me excited. If I was a coach, I would hate to have Minnesota as the number 1 team to play off the bat. But as a fan, it's great for us because we can kind of see right away, where is this team at? Because you got to remember, PJ Fleck, man, that's a program up and running now. I know they lost some offensive linemen. They got depth at that position. He's been, Matt Rule hasn't had that chance to develop his guys yet. So, again, I still think it's going to be a close game, but I would not, I'm still going to peg Minnesota as the favorites probably win this one. I think it's something as close as a field goal or, again, another single score game. But it'll be interesting. I will say this, though. Minnesota, that's a team that's 2 years in a row now. It's 9 wins. I think they're 4th in offense last year in the Big Ten, and that was only 28 points a game. But like I said, you're not going to get the ball hardly ever. So it's going to be a game of taking care of the ball. And I'm just super excited. Thursday, 7 o'clock. Against Minnesota on the road.
23-17 Skurs.
23-17 Skurs.
I like that.
You got one?
I say 27. 27. We'll go with 21.
Okay, 27-21. And, I'll just go ahead and we'll go 24-28. I think Minnesota just barely holds on. That's going to be it for me, though. That's Jeff. That's Sam. And this has been the Walk On Weekly. Catch you guys next week.